support of the Army football team. Entering the stadium is the United States Military Academy Band under the command of Colonel Anthony with Drum Major Master Sergeant Glenn West. The marches that will be played as cadets march out to the field are the official West Point March, America Exultant, Benny Havens, Alma Mater March, Army Blue Medley, Americans We, and Washington Post. Leading the 4 regiments of the United States North Cadets onto the field is the Brigade Commander, Cadet First Captain Hugh McConnell from Newton, Kansas. His staff consists of the Brigade Deputy Commander, Cadet Captain Adam Cratch from Long Valley, New Jersey. The Brigade Intelligence Officer, Cadet Captain Nicholas Seuss from Grand Island, New York. The Brigade Adjutant, Cadet Captain Taylor Brazel from Las Vegas, Nevada. The Brigade Operations Officer, Cadet Captain Joshua Tomlinson Aaron from Mount Olive, New Jersey. The Deputy Brigade Logistics Officer, Cadet Captain Andrew Lee from San Jose, California. The Brigade Information Assistance Officer, Cadet Captain Stephanie Geyer from Lima, California. And the Brigade Command Sergeant Major, Cadet Command Sergeant Major Alyssa Chapman from Belfort, Florida. Since the days of the American Revolution, flag bearers have been an important element in ceremonies, leading today's formation and bearing the national color is the United States Corps of Cadets Color Guard, led by Cadet Color Sergeant Joseph Wilkerson from Goodyear, Arizona. The 1st Regiment is commanded by Cadet Captain Tyler Anderson from Magnolia, Texas. The Regimental Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Michelle Galanga from Cape Hays, Florida. The 1st Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain William Christensen from Salt Lake City, Utah. The Battalion Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Rebecca Jeffrey from Omaha, Nebraska. Company A is commanded by Cadet Captain Brandon Carletti Silva from Krebs, Oklahoma. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Jack Starface Rector from Osceola, Wisconsin. Company B is commanded by Cadet Captain Benjamin Bunninger from Richmond, Virginia. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Benjamin Crabtree from Marion, Ohio. Company C is commanded by Cadet Captain Mario Contreras from Southern Pines, North Carolina. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Sean Dean from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. The 2nd Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Ethan Kleiber from Midland, Michigan. The Battalion Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Stephen Spratt from Marion, North Carolina. Delta Battery is commanded by Cadet Captain Joseph Cotton from Washington Township, New Jersey. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Vincent Bartram from Cleveland, Ohio. Company E is commanded by Cadet Captain Matthew Ziegler from Holland, Michigan. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Richard Smith from Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania. Company F is commanded by Cadet Captain Zach Cohen from Englewood, Colorado. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Maria Navarro from Brockton, Massachusetts. The 3rd Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Jack Cooley from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. The Battalion Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Joshua Crafton from Shelbyville, Indiana. Company G is commanded by Cadet Captain Rima Gasparini from Vicenza, Italy. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Brian Crispin from Champaign, Illinois. Company H is commanded by Cadet Captain Aaron Lynn from Flushing, New York. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Christy Kerrigan from Herndon, Virginia. Company I is commanded by Cadet Captain Bo Webb from Lampasas, Texas. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Sean Marcilla from Cedar Knolls, New Jersey. The 2nd Regiment is commanded by Cadet Captain Christopher Fowler from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. The Regimental Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Jonathan Ryder from Mattoon, Illinois. The 1st Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Ken McNally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Battalion Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Jonathan Crock from Gurnee, Illinois. Company A is commanded by Cadet Captain Christian Sloan from Allamucci, New Jersey. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Jack Stockhausen from Hanover County, Virginia. Company B is commanded by Cadet Captain Andrew Chia from Richmond, Virginia. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Jonathan Hendler from from Scarsdale, New York. Company C is commanded by Cadet Captain Jerry Fuller from Los Altos, California. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Robert Reed from Canfield, Ohio. The second battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Clifton Stern from Boise, Idaho. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Stephen Russell from Quincy, Illinois. Company D is commanded by Cadet Captain Henry Holmes from Duanesburg, New York. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Mike E. from Winfield, Pennsylvania. Company E is commanded by Cadet Captain Morgan McLeod from Sammamish, Washington. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Corey Lemire from Sacramento, California. Company F is commanded by Cadet Captain Joshua Reed from Denver, Colorado. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Sarah Galloway from Bentonville, Arkansas. The third battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain William Scott from Dallas, Texas. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Andrew Lysakowski from Reading, Pennsylvania. Company G is commanded by Cadet Captain Marco Lazzaro from Cape Coral, Florida. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Tyler Beaver from Maplewood, Minnesota. Company H is commanded by Cadet Captain Steve Fabio Nava from Union City, California. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Ransom from Houston, Texas. Company I is commanded by Cadet Captain Ishmael Rahim from Honolulu, Hawaii. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Spencer Spice from Detroit, Michigan.
I was on the other side. I was and I was like, oh crap.
I looked where the campaign
The 3rd Regiment is commanded by Cadet Captain Mark McGinnis from Detroit, Michigan. The regimental command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Jeff DePalma from Highland Falls, New York. The 1st Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Jonathan Griffin from Parker, Colorado. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Lars Robinson from Juneau, Alaska. Company A is commanded by Cadet Captain Benjamin McFarland from Canton, Georgia. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Michael Wegner from Middletown, Maryland.
I'm trying to get a picture of all of us.
Company B is commanded by Cadet Captain David Taylor from The Woodlands, Texas. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Danielle Cuomo from Valley Stream, New York. Company C is commanded by Cadet Captain Kenneth Butts from Fort Campbell, Tennessee. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Kelsey Burnett Turner from Virginia Beach, Virginia. The 2nd Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain David Foy from Cary, North Carolina. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Joseph Carroll from Fort Worth, Texas. Company D is commanded by Cadet Captain Tyler Home from Parkstone, South Dakota. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Thomas Manning from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Company E is commanded by Cadet Captain Anna Rapp from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant James Graves from Fort Worth, Texas. Company F is commanded by Cadet Captain William Spurgeon III from Wheaton, Illinois. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Zach Turner from Frankton, Indiana. The 3rd Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Anderson Sullivan from Ada, Michigan. The Battalion Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Lisa DeLacy from Malden, Massachusetts. Company G is commanded by Cadet Captain Haley Lee from Lakewood, Washington. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Nicholas Flowerdale from Livermore, California. Company H is commanded by Cadet Captain Alan Guzman from Yale, Washington. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Aaron Savage from Troy, Michigan. Company I is commanded by Cadet Captain Bridget Matzes from Woodstock, Connecticut. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Brandon Bowers from Havelock, North Carolina. The 4th Regiment is commanded by Cadet Captain Madison Crump from Boca Raton, Florida. The Regimental Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Andre Michelle from Dumfries, Virginia. The 1st Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Lincoln Connell from Norwood, Missouri. The Battalion Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Nicholas Shelton from Keller, Texas. Company A is commanded by Cadet Captain Araceli Sandoval from El Paso, Texas. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Andrew Millett from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. Company B is commanded by Cadet Captain Megan Blaney from Augusta, Georgia. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Matthew Vest from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Company C is commanded by Cadet Captain Pearl Brooks from Carmel, Indiana. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Andrew Canavis from Ottawa, Illinois. The 2nd Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Cameron Voigt from Barrington, Rhode Island. The Battalion Command Sergeant Major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Connor McCarty from North Smithfield, Rhode Island. Company D is commanded by Cadet Captain Nancy Porter from Amarillo, Texas. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Andrew Quigg from Gardner, Massachusetts. Company E is commanded by Cadet Captain Johnny Villalobos from Chicago, Illinois. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Patrick Schroll from Red Bank, New Jersey. Company F is commanded by Cadet Captain Quinn Carlson from Mukilteo, Washington. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Nicholas Ball from Colonial Heights, Virginia. Morris from Douglas County, Georgia. The battalion commanding sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Kyle Langley from New Orleans, Louisiana. Company G is commanded by Cadet Captain Matthew Morris from St. Louis, Missouri. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Thomas Parker from Wheaton, Illinois. Company H is commanded by Cadet Captain Nicholas Peters from Madison, Alabama. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Elliot Williams from Springfield, Missouri. Company I is commanded by Cadet Captain Joe Hirschman from Newbury Park, California. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Jacob Shepard from Boulder, Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Corps of Cadets. Gentlemen, standing before you are the cadets of the United States Military Academy. Every one of them has chosen to answer the call to duty. With their salute, they recognize and honor your show of support. These cadets today will lead America's sons and daughters of tomorrow in the defense of our great nation. being played as the cadets exit the stadium for the official Army song, The Army Goes Rolling Along. The Thunderer, National Emblem, Stars and Stripes Forever, and on, brave old Army team.